Bones at his jaw did they revel. They came after us, crossed the borderline, took all our offers to send down their mines, while the feathered beast read out Dear Bob. So cried the trekker, this madness must stop. Toss a coin to your trekker, oh planet of plenty, oh planet of plenty, oh. Toss a coin to your trekker, oh planet of plenty. The vile Kurogans fled and hid what they had stole. Riorfan was shackled and kept in the cold. But he did not relent. The Turd King was hell-bent. He slayed the Kurogans, then to Bird's house he went. And with a mighty blow, he struck that button red. The mighty bird folded in two by his bed. That's my epic tale, our champion prevailed. So let's drink a toast with some Romulan ale. Toss a coin to your trekker, oh planet of plenty, oh planet of plenty, oh. Toss a coin to your trekker, oh planet of plenty, oh planet of plenty, oh. Toss a coin to your trekker, oh planet of plenty, oh planet of plenty, oh. Toss a coin to your trekker, the great Turdistani.
Making your way with the nerds today takes everything you've got. Taking a break from hating JJ sure would help a lot. Wouldn't you like to just get laid? Sometimes you wanna go where all the Trekkies know your name, and they're always glad you came. You wanna be in a galaxy where Star Trek isn't lame. You wanna go where everybody knows your name.
Death to Katarora!
Yes, that's right. The anti-trekker. The only... Oh, Valor throws... and I can't see it because it's behind me. Looks like I put $2 in for a super chat. Says, good evening, Turdistan, and Mr. Miles' choice. Well, I don't know if Mr. Miles is here yet, so we'll see if he comes in. He will get a super chat. In the meantime, so for those of you that weren't sure, yes...
Death to Katarora!
That is indeed General Martok's voice. So for those of you that don't know, I was over with Orville Nation the other night, and we were talking to J.P. Hertzler, the actor, that plays Martok. And he did that several times through the live stream because Martok is officially a Turdistani, so we might as well just call the war over at this point.
Death to Katarora!
So Thomas was first in the chat, says hi, and down with Kuroga. Indeed, Live with Matthew says, hey, did the game end? It had less than a minute left, and the 49ers were down by 11 points, so yeah. Darth Maul says hi. Jaegerbomb says love this song. I do too, man. I could just sit there and listen to that song all day. Ensign Ricky is here. Good to see you, my friend. Hope things are well. I know you had kind of a rough patch there. Number one Sci-Fi says, did you see all those Klingon lies that Bird of Prey was spouting last night? Yes, Bird of Prey was trying to suggest that when Martok was saying...
Death
that it was actually the changeling version of Martok, thinking that we're dumb enough to not realize that the changeling Martok was taken care of many, many years ago, and that this is the later, older Chancellor Martok, not the General Martok that was replaced by a changeling. Resolu says, how about your 49ers? Oh, man, I tell you, for a while I thought they had it in the bag, and then they blew it in the fourth quarter. That hurt. Multi-Gunman says first, and you're all banned. And Thomas says, sorry, Anti-Checker, it's bad enough that the cheaters tied my team with the most Super Bowls. Well, I don't know which team is your team, and I don't know who you mean by cheaters. Although most Super Bowls, I assume you mean the 49ers, so I'm assuming you're saying that the 49ers are cheating somehow. But if they were cheating, they probably would have won. Number one sci-fi says Kansas City won the Super Bowl. Indeed, they did. Ramley Canuck says, hello, Anti-Trekker and all. Good to see you. And Multi-Gunman says, hey, Anti-Trekker, how's it going? I'm hanging in there. You know, it's funny because at first I thought there were two comments in a row from Ramley Canuck because your icons are so similar. One of you needs to switch things up. Just saying. I know you guys are proud of your Canadian roots, though. Down with the evil mutant leader, Bird of Prey 5, leader of the robot hell sewers, a.k.a. Kuroga. Indeed, spouting lies against one of the greatest military heroes of all time, General Martok. The only other military leader to even come close to General Martok's incredible skill is our very own Thomas Potts. Ensign Ricky says 10th. Signed Book Collector says, so say we all. Funny you should say that. I'm going to talk about a little Battlestar Galactica in a minute. Thomas says, when are you going to start the Happy Poopy Time stream? Probably never. Long live Kuroga now with Turdistan. Did you not hear Chancellor Martok?
Yes! To Kuroga!
Yeah, I think we can just stop that now. How about that Trump-Pence 2020 ad? I don't think I've seen this type of ad since I started watching the Bulls in 1996. I gotta admit, that ad caught me off guard. I'll say this, for a political ad, it was effective. And the reason it was effective is because nobody expected her to be talking about Donald Trump. And so I thought it was a very effective ad, actually. So kudos to the Trump campaign for that one. And so there's Valor's $2, and I will try to keep an eye out for Mr. Miles. If somebody sees Mr. Miles, be sure to tell him he has a super chat courtesy of Valor Omega. Rambling, I was talking to a little live with Matthew. Let me see here what's some stuff for me. Piano Dean says, hey, speaking of the awesome theme song to this channel. Yes, good to see you, Piano Dean. Cinnabon is also in the house. Good to see you, my crazy bunny-loving friend. Mike Richards is here. And let's see. The Epic Beard says, her nerds, turds, and birds. I assume you mean hail, not hair. Mr. Miles, always first. I'm forever awesome. Auntie, forever cuter than Baby Yoda. Auntie is adorable, isn't she? Yeah, she heard me say that. MC says, Cheat Riots is who he is referring to. I have no idea who Cheat Riots is. No idea. But yeah, no idea. Jeff Franklin says, Anti-Checker, good evening, good sir. How you doing, Jeff? I called out Bird of Prey 5 for lying when he said that his favorite Klingon was Kahless, yet he has a General Chang avatar. Well, yeah, you see, that's the thing. Bird is what you want to call a wannabe Klingon. See, I'm the real deal. Look, I got the Klingon hair, right? Yes, I'm a smooth forehead Klingon. I admit that. I'm not perfect. But I'm from the era of Kang, Koloth, and Kor, not from the later era. And while Martok is probably the single greatest Klingon to have ever lived, I have no shame in being brethren with the great Kang.
Yes! To Kuroga!
I just can't hear enough of that. Jeff says, death to Kuroga, indeed. Greetings, Tracker. The guy needs better glasses, saying that all Canadians look the same and fellow nerds. No, I didn't say Canadians look the same. I said their avatars look similar because both of them have the Canadian maple leaf in the center. Bird gave me the coronavirus, had a fever all day. Proof Bird is evil. I'm sorry, Epic. That does suck. Tom says, Steelers and Patriots have 6 Super Bowls. 49ers and Cowboys have 5. Oh, okay. Well, you see, I don't keep track of that stuff, Thomas. So I just know that the first Super Bowl I watched with Mrs. Anti-Trekker was Super Bowl 23, and that was one of the many 49ers Super Bowls. And that was the Super Bowl that featured The Catch. Now I got to go look up that Trump ad. Yeah, it's actually a very effective... It is a political ad. It's not funny, but it is a very effective political ad, and it is not a hit piece on the other party, which I actually really appreciate that as well. Darth Maul says, and it's nice to see Wesley Snipes getting work again. He was in the Mr. Peanut ad. Yeah, there were several ads that featured a lot of celebrities, but I have to say the single best ad of the Super Bowl by far, was no contest whatsoever, was the Jason Momoa ad for Quicken Loans. Holy crap. When he did the first big reveal, I'm not going to spoil it. If you haven't seen it, you got to see this ad without spoilers. But when he does the first reveal, when you get the joke of the ad, I just died laughing. Mrs. Antracker wasn't even in the room. I died laughing. I just paused the TV and rewind it and have Mrs. Antracker come in. And she was like, oh, come on. It's just one of those commercials. And I said, no, you got to see this. And I play it. And she was like, oh, yeah, that was great. So the Jason Momoa Quicken Loans ad, look it up if you haven't seen it. Holy crap. That is the funniest freaking commercial I've seen in a long time. Krogans, don't listen to them. Don't trust them. A little Kirk action there. Brady to the Niners. Thomas says, Bird of Prey completely ignored the chat in this live stream today. Well, of course he did, because he didn't want to deal with the fact
Death to Kataroga!
that the greatest Klingon general in history is against him. We have proofs Bird of Prey's cheating, and use your words tonight. Excellent. You'll have to show that to me. Andy Tiger says, you definitely have the Klingon beard of TOS. Yes, see, I am clearly a TOS Klingon, right? I don't pretend to be in Martok's league, but I'm proud to be a TOS Klingon, and I am the real deal as opposed to a poser like Bird of Prey. Give me all the speed you can muster, mister. There's Mr. Miles. Good to see you, my friend. And so, Mr. Miles, thanks to Valor Omega, you get a super chat. So go ahead and pick one, my friend, and I will play it. Koloth and Korad Ridges in Deep Space Nine. Guess your service in the KDF ended in your dishonor, so you were disqualified from forehead regeneration. Well, Kang actually as well. But actually, here's the thing. What a lot of you don't realize is that I'm actually a time-traveling Klingon, so I came back in time to the 21st century before any of that nonsense happened. So when I go back, yeah, I'll get my ridges. But, you know, I'm perfectly happy with my current appearance. I'll send you a picture after the stream so you don't yell at me and cut off my dinner for tonight. All right, Thomas. Good call. I don't want to have to cut off your dinner. It would be 3 nights in 1 week. I wouldn't want to have to do that. Mr. Miles just woke up from an 11-hour nap. Still feel like I have been hit by a bus. Oh, I hate days like that. I truly hate days like that. Bird of Prey didn't ignore me, just Thomas Potts. Well, that's because Bird of Prey knows
Death to Kataroga!
that he has lost the war. It's over. There is no war. I mean, the combined forces of Turdistan's military led by Thomas Potts and the Klingon Defense Force under the leadership of Chancellor Martok, how the heck could Koroga withstand that? Answer, they can't. It's over. Ensign says, on my way back to Florida right now. I'll be passing Murfreesboro here at I-65 in an hour or two. Oh, man! Ensign Ricky, I wish that... you know, you probably have to get home, and I got to work tomorrow, but if circumstances were different, I'd say, hey, we should get coffee or something, but let's see. Richie says, oh, yes, Jeff 2. Not sure why he said that. That wasn't really Martok, it was a changeling. See, more Korogan propaganda and lies. The problem with that theory, Richie, is that if you saw... General Martok, this wasn't, I keep saying general because he held the position of general for so long compared to Chancellor. You realize this is Chancellor Martok. Chancellor Martok was never a changeling. Only General Martok was, and that changeling was dispatched. So Chancellor Martok is 100% changeling free. The war with the Dominion had been over for some time, so it's just fake news to try and suggest that. And all you got to do is look at him. You can see it's not the young or relatively young General Martok. It is the older, more seasoned Chancellor Martok that we're talking about that said...
Death to Cuyahoga!
It's because everyone in Cuyahoga knows that Thomas Potts is fake news. No, I'm sorry. Thomas is the real deal. You guys are fake news. Bird was ignoring me too. Well, you were probably a loyal Turtistani. That's his thing. See, that's the thing. Notice that I'm reading chats from Kurogans. So I don't discriminate, unlike Bird, who will discriminate against Turtistanis. If Mr. Miles doesn't answer, can't answer a super chat? Can we get Lore Bond? Well, Lore Bond is a mega chat, not a super chat. So no. Taz, after the augment virus, Bird opted to stay that way to remind cowardly Klingons like Anti-Trekker of their dishonor. No, Bird is not even a real Klingon. Well, he's a brain-damaged... I think he's got about a quarter Klingon blood in him. I'll tell you what, since some of you guys want to argue about that, let's just look at the evidence, shall we? So Mr. Ma, so he's going to pass the super chat to Tubian. All right, well, that's very nice of you. But I'm still going to play this one just out of the goodness of my own heart because we got to get things, get some understanding here.
This is the story of the unsung hero of the Klingon Empire, Joe. Joe was the only Klingon in history to dare to call Captain James T. Kirk a coward and live. Joe not only fought the mighty Captain Kirk to a standstill, he also beat the legendary Montgomery Scott in hand-to-hand combat. Joe had a plan to overthrow his commander, Kang, by tricking Kang into fighting against Kirk. But the fight was interrupted by several Starfleet officers. Joe then made the mistake of trying to fight Spock in hand-to-hand combat. Spock used a Vulcan nerve pinch on Joe, causing severe nerve damage. It was years before Joe could even speak again. To this day, Joe has been unable to walk. However, he has managed to build up a strangely successful singing career.
Alamarine, count to 4, Alamarine, then 3 more. Alamarine, if you can see, Alamarine, you'll come with me. Alamarine, count to 4, Alamarine, then 3 more. Alamarine, if you can see, Alamarine, you'll come with me. Alamarine, count to 4, Alamarine, then 3 more. Alamarine, if you can see, Alamarine, you'll come with me. Alamarine, count to 4, Alamarine, then 3 more. Alamarine, if you can see, Alamarine, then you'll come with me.
Thanks, Joe, for being an inspiration for every brain-damaged Klingon out there.
So yes, Joe is a brain-damaged Klingon. If you don't believe me, just listen to this.
Oi, it's my Aussie accent. It's the dingoes. We have to worry about the dingoes and the roos The dingoes and the roos, they...
So clearly Bird has some
Lucaroga!
serious damage, and thank you, Chancellor Martok. So yes, McMance, how do we say that?
Hello, world.
Hate words with an X on the end. And thank you, Mexican Iron Man throws $10 in, says 49ers lost, Star Trek dying, Doctor Who's dead, Star Wars on terminal life support. Thus, with this football loss, I hereby bequeath to Andy Checker my sci-fi collection and male swimsuit thong collection. Yeah, I was kind of disappointed by the 49ers. I really was. But it was a good game. It's just that, like, that last half of the fourth quarter, the 49ers just completely fell apart, which is too bad. But anyway, but thank you, my friend. Thank you. But remember, Star Trek is not dead. It's. I think Picard is moving in the right direction. And so we got to give it a little time and hope for the best. Anyway, Mac was saying, just actually watched Picard episode 1. Wasn't that bad, but the start and finish of the chase seemed absurd. Yeah, that was a bit off. KG says, congratulations to the Chiefs. Indeed. Epic says, Bird is 1/3 Klingork. That would explain it. The Turtistani propaganda machine is in full swing. Turtistan expects us to believe that that's Martok talking crap about Kuroga. We all know it's a changeling.
Death! Lucaroga!
It is 100% Martok. It's been verified. I understand that you don't like it, but they actually did do a blood test just to make sure. But even if they didn't, you do realize that it was General Martok. Come on. Deep Space Nine, know your history. It was General Martok that was taken and replaced with a changeling. Chancellor Martok was never taken by a changeling. So, because that's later in his life, after the changelings were in fact defeated. So, yeah, get over it. Jeff says Bird is really a Packlid. No. He's Klingon. He's got I think he's like, if I remember correctly, Bird is actually 1/3 Klingon, 1/3 Packlid, and 1/3 Rancor Keeper. Bird is a half Romulan Klingork. No, he doesn't have any Romulan in him. Ahoy, Anti-Checker. Hey, T-Berg, how you doing? Tyler thought it was a great Super Bowl. I thought it was okay. I guess maybe I would have thought it was great if I was rooting for Kansas City. And there's Mexican Iron Man saying 49ers lost, Star Trek dying, you said dying, not dead. Doctor Who is dead, Star Wars on terminal life support. Thus, with football loss, I hereby bequeath my sci-fi collection and male swimsuit thong collection. Yeah. Light with Matthew says, Antrigger, no, we believe you, there are 5 lights, just make it stop. I think the only real world reason I can come up with for Worf making Martok the Chancellor was because the writers could not come up with a reason Worf to. Well, Worf would have no claim to be Chancellor. Martok is the logical choice, not Worf. Your evil magic is working on Nerdrotic now. He kind of sort of like Doctor Who today. I had to pick my jaw up the floor. Wow! That is impressive. I didn't see that, but that is impressive. Maybe he'll apologize to me for all the mean things he said. So what you're saying is that Bird is a true Klingon warrior, and you just go back in time to hide. Okay. No. What I'm saying is that Bird is a 1/3 Klingon, 1/3 Packlid. Actually, it's 1/3 Klingork, 1/3 Packlid, and 1/3 Rancor Keeper. I went back in time in order to communicate with you guys and to warn you about the evils of Kuroga.
Death! Lucaroga!
Because what happened was Bird decided to go back in time and take over Kuroga in order to try and take over the world. Speaking as an Aussie myself, Bird's built like a brick house and sounds worse than a kookaburra. Well, he does sound pretty bad, I gotta say. Oh, here he comes again. You can speak some
Aussie. It's my Aussie accent. It's the dingoes. We have to worry about the dingoes and the roos.
Death! Lucaroga!
Oh, goodness. Indy Tiger says, Kirk defeated not just Klingons, but augmented Klingons. By the time of TNG, the Klingons were back to normal, thus not as dangerous. Very true. Richie said, and with that, Bird set U.S.-Australian relations back 100 years. Yes. Agreed, Trekker veers truth. Wait. Agreed, Trekker veers truth. Are you trying to suggest that I'm avoiding the truth, or that I'm veering into the... You kind of lost me on that one. Super Turd, super chat, please. What do you guys keep asking for the mega chats? Super chats are the 1 through 28. Not the mega chats, not the Uber chats. The super turds are in mega chat. I'm generous, but I'm not that generous. Take orders from a lonely captain like Picard if he did accept the chancellorship. Why would he take orders from Picard? He wouldn't take orders from Picard. It was defensive game for both teams, so the Niners blinked. I agree.
Hello, world.
And Night Breeze throws in something I can't see, so let me go over to my dashboard so I can see it. And thank you, Night Breeze. Puts in a buck, says, don't forget to hit the like button, check notifications, share with friends, share your treats with Auntie, and death to disco. Indeed. Thank you, my friend. And while I'm still waiting for Tubian to pick a super chat, not a mega chat, I will play Death to Disco. Ah, yes.
Death to Kataroga!
Thank you, Chancellor. Fed says, I'm admittedly getting quite fond of the House Romulans. Let's see, especially Laris, although the deadpan of the male Romulans delivery is hilarious. Yeah, I like her character. Don't get me wrong. I'm not hating on the characters. I just don't like what they represent. And I understand what they represent being from that, part of California. The Dominion War is over. No reason to replace people, and the founders were almost wiped out. Exactly. People are being completely incorrect. And the Fed throws a couple of Australian dollars in and says, unleashes the Emu Horde to Karoga. Excellent. So the Emu Horde joins forces with Turdistan under the leadership of Thomas Potts and the Klingon Empire under the leadership of Chancellor Martok. Very good. Martok was a general, and his changeling had 2 eyes, while real Martok lost an eye while imprisoned by the Jem'Hadar, if I remember correctly. Yes. Although the real Martok did eventually have reconstructive surgery so that the second eye at least appeared normal. But that was after the end of the run of Deep Space Nine. Yes, Bird of Prey 5 is not a Romulan, since he considers it a great democracy versus the Empire and a strict rule that it really has. Yes. And Thomas says Nerdrotic is a shill. Yes, because he didn't hate that episode of Doctor Who. Tentacle says, actually, Worf won the challenge, and his house is a noble house, so Worf could have accepted the leader. Yeah, but you know what? It still wouldn't have made sense. I like Martok being in charge. King of the Soundbike Wreckers. Yeah, that's me. My ears are bleeding. Turn that damn thing off. It's off now. Sci-Fi says, hello there. How you doing? Fed says, note, buy Bird some kangaroo meat. He'll need it during the Karogan invasion. He will. Sci-Fi says, hail Karoga, let's slip the sassies of war. Yeah, you don't have a chance against Martok. If Martok would just come and by himself, you wouldn't have a chance. Let alone Martok, the entire Klingon Navy, along with the Karogan Army and the Emus from Australia. Sci-Fi says also the Jeep Super Bowl commercial with Bill Murray reprising his Groundhog Day theme was a dumb one to me. It wasn't as good as the Jason Momoa commercial. And by the way, if you Do not put spoilers for the Jason Momoa commercial in the chat, please. Because if you haven't seen it, I want you to see it without spoilers. Because that commercial has one of those reveals that will have you laughing so hard that you'll have to stop it and then start again in a minute. Because when you first... Jeez. I just thinking about it. But in fact, let me see if I can find that commercial. Well, no. I don't want to get DMCA'd. Anyway, the Jason Momoa was definitely the best. The Bill Murray one, it was all right. It wasn't the worst commercial, but it wasn't great. Sci-Fi says, how was your time with General Martok? It was an absolute blast, and it's still, and you can go over to Orville Nation's channel and watch it. It's about an hour and a half long, and I had to leave after about a little over an hour, but it went on for about 20-30 minutes after I left, and he was a great guy. He was just a lot of fun. Bird of Prey Australia accent did cause an international incident on Sci-Fi Nation stream a few days ago. I'm not surprised. I like the Groundhog Day commercial, fit perfectly with it being Groundhog Day. That's true, I didn't even think about that. And Tubian says, sorry, Super Chat 23. You got it, my friend. Super Chat 23, everybody's favorite. Ah, yes, the classic.
Death to Caroga!
Yes, Death, thank you, Chancellor, once again. Track Viewer, put my last two comments together and they will make sense. Well, let me see, where are they, Track Reviewer? I don't see them, and if I scroll back too far, I'm going to get Cully lost. There's one about Picard. Well, one of them was retracted. So I can't read a retracted one, and I can't scroll back forever, man. I'm sorry, I just can't because I get lost in the chat. Quick, to the alpacas! Yeah, the alpacas are not... The emus alone will defeat the alpacas, and even if they didn't, I'm pretty sure that one well-placed Klingon torpedo will take care of your alpaca forces. Death to Disco, Death to Kuroga, what's next? Well, Death to Bird of Prey 5, of course. It's funny you mentioned Bird's heritage is actually part 40k troll. Now commanding an even great horde, Kuroga will soon overrun the turret defenses, just like the Chiefs did to the 49ers. I didn't say he was part 40k troll. Never said that. I said he was part Klingork, part Packlid, and part Rancor Keeper. Nowhere in there is her 40k troll. Carlos says, rational or anti-trigger. I'm so pleased I caught the last Death to Kurogas. You know, I always wonder, what did they use to divest the good General Martok of his eye? Yeah, I'm kind of curious too. How did he lose his eye? But yeah, I don't think they ever showed that. They just showed that he lost his eye. Mr. Mouse says, Anti-Trigger, getting JG to say Death Kuroga was a lot of fun, but also feels wasted that you didn't get him to say subscribe to the Anti-Trigger, hit the like button. I know, but, you know, that would have... Because I was asking him as a friend to do it, not as, hey, this is going to be a commercial for my channel. You know, and if I ever had him on my channel, I'd probably ask him to do that. I thought the Doritos Super Bowl commercial was funny. It was... you talking about the one with... oh, geez. I can't believe I'm forgetting. Sam Elliott, that one. Kronos liked the Momoa commercial. Oh, yeah, that was, I'm sorry, hands down the best. Is it safe to say we're still riding high off the epic Martok interview? Yes, indeed. You know what, I'm sorry, that was a great, great moment for me. And so it was a lot of fun. And, yeah, it was awesome. Look at the image of your video about the Orville. Look at the image of your video about the Orville Nation stream. Yes, I did one of those cheesy, clickbaity kind of thumbnails, although it's legit because I was like, "Holy crap!" Sorry about the mix-up. I didn't know super chats and mega chats were separate. That's all right too. But you don't have to apologize. We're all only human around here, except for me, of course, because I'm Klingon. But most of us are only human. And yes, I'm coming out as a Klingon, I guess, but you guys knew it from the hair anyway. Edger, would you and Mrs. Edger love to be immortal with repeating Groundhog Day forever, no consequences? I would probably enjoy the crap out of it. I think that Mrs. Anti-Checker would get tired of it. Tom says, on a serious note, keep Berta Prey and his family in your thoughts and prayers. His grandmother is very ill. Very true. And yes, of course, you guys know this, but any of the death to Kuroga and all that stuff is, of course, just in good fun. We absolutely, you know, Berta Prey is a great guy, great friend of the channel. And yes, he is going through a tough period right now with his grandma being ill. And yeah. So, depending on how you believe, either thoughts, prayers, or goodwill towards Bird of Prey for sure. Thank you for reminding us of that, Thomas, because we need that every now and then. Valor says, I don't mean to lower the mood a little bit, but it actually appears that Trekkies who like Picard aren't actual fans, just normies, according to the Phantom Menace. I was like Anti-Checker, is anything but a normie. Yeah, if people are saying that, you know, basically, my opinion is, honestly, because here's the thing. I understand if you don't like it, I'm perfectly fine with that. But to say you're not a fan of Star Trek because you don't like this, I don't even say that about people that like Discovery or people that like The Last Jedi. Like, you guys know, the guy that's in my videos, whenever I say, but wait, that guy, he liked The Last Jedi. That's where I got the idea of using his picture as the guy that's being contrary to me. He's still my friend, and I certainly don't think he doesn't like Star Wars just because he liked what I thought was the worst insult to Star Wars ever. So, you know, it's, first of all, it's total no true Scotsman fallacy. Because who the hell are you to define whether or not I like something? Only I know what I like. It's a subjective thing. And maybe it's because I lean towards the original series as opposed to Next Generation. But then again, I keep thinking, well, if you're a big fan of Next Generation, you should probably like the newer stuff more because the newer stuff is more in line with the politics of Next Generation than, say, the original series or Deep Space Nine. But whatever. I mean, everybody has their individual tastes, and that's that. But I'm not going to say you're not a fan. I'm just going to say I disagree with you. Sci-Fi said, Martok explained to Worf how he lost it when Worf and company were in the same POW camp. I remember he said something, but I can't remember what it was. Do you like the Liberty Mutual commercials with Lee, Moo, Emu, and Doug? No. Don't care for them. Martok lost his eye fighting a Jem'Hadar in the prison. Was it fighting a Jem'Hadar where he lost? I mean, I know that's what they were doing in the prison, but I couldn't remember if they said that he lost it fighting one of the Jem'Hadar. So basically, you've created the first original Klingon meme.
Death to Kataroga!
He lost his eye while in prison on the Jem'Hadar. Well, I know where he lost his eye, Ricky. I was just trying to remember. Someone said they explained to him how he lost it. Maybe it was just in the matches on the prison. I don't remember that. I remember him telling Worf. I just don't remember exactly what I said. I haven't watched that episode in forever. But I'm going to be soon because I'm kind of reviewing a lot of the Jem'Hadar stuff. I thought the Rick and Morty Pringles ad was nice. Well, I'm not a big fan of Rick and Morty, so I didn't get it so much because I don't watch the cartoon. I assume that if you're a fan of the cartoon, it was awesome. Did you get another Streamlabs donation? Oh, let me check. I did! Holy crap, I'm so sorry. The Ghost, I don't know how it didn't show up, but thank you for reminding me. That Ghost donated $10 and says MegaChat 5 for Tubian. Well, that's very sweet. That's just very kind. All right, MegaChat number 5. Let's bring it up.
In the great bowl of the Justice League, there floats the world's 4 greatest turds. Created from cosmic indigestion, Super Turd, Wonder Turd, Fat Turd, Aqua Turd. And those two junior super turds, Lore Reloaded and Punchy the Wonder Cat.
I still say that is the greatest super chat of all time. All right, and
Death to Caroga!
thank you, my friend. And Thomas, I saw that picture. I didn't know if you wanted me to share that, but that's pretty cool, actually. And thank you again, Night Breeze. The Oil of Olay commercial was powerful. I would not agree with you on that. I thought it was pandering. Honestly, we make space for women, and making space for women makes space for everybody. Well, then why don't you just make space for everybody? Why does it just have to be for women? And then if we make it for women, then everybody gets to come along. How about you just make it for everybody? Because if you're making it for women, you're only making it for women. And don't get me wrong, I love women. And I'm not saying that women should be held back or anything. If women, and they actually had a female astronaut in there. And in fact, you want to talk about inspiring, the commercial that showed and I didn't even know about her, the first female coach in NFL history to go to the Super Bowl, who was on the 49er coaching staff, and they never mentioned her throughout the freaking game. But the first female coach in NFL history to go to the Super Bowl was at that game, and nobody said anything. And that's more inspiring than freaking turning a rocket ship that's painted up to look like Oil of Olay, piloted by a bunch of women that look like they put on too much makeup. I'm sorry. That was just pandering. Night Breeze praying for Bird and his family. Thank you, my friend. I like the female Romulan. She's a good actress. With the Irish accent is weird, especially when she was living in France for 15 years. Yeah, that doesn't make any kind of sense. Why do Romulans have a French accent? I get it in that, how are you going to invent a brand new accent? But yeah, that didn't seem to make sense. There are many rumors and heresy about the Krogan leader's age. What, pray tell, is Bird's age? That's a very good question. But I don't. He obviously, like me, he grew up in the 23rd century. But I do believe he's a little younger than me. But I don't know, because us Klingons we age a little differently than humans. So you'd have to ask him. Richie says, I'm a lifelong Trekkie and I find Picard acceptable, not great, but okay as Star Trek. Yeah, that's. I liked the first episode more than the second episode, but yeah, so far, I'm aside from the contemporary writing, I think it's pretty solid. If they would fix the contemporary writing, meaning get rid of the F-bombs, get rid of the dude, that kind of stuff, and it would have been way, way better. Brad says, and you got Night Breeze throws it. Man, I gotta fix that. That thing is underneath me and it should be on top, and it's kind of confusing. Night Breeze puts another, says, long live Turdistan and all hail the Hypnoturd. All right, I will try to do the Hypnoturd, but my sinuses are a little congested, so let me get over to the screen, and then we gotta turn off the toss a coin, and then
Let me play among the stars.
All hail the Hypnoturd. You must give yourself to the Hypnoturd. The Hypnoturd is love. The Hypnoturd is life. The Hypnoturd knows you, for the Hypnoturd is in you, for the Hypnoturd is you. Bow down before the Hypnoturd. Give everything to the Hypnoturd.
Death to Caroga!
Fed says, I will admit, since I've watched you, I've gotten a certainly improved perspective of TNG and greater appreciation of TOS, and I grew bloody up with TNG. I'm sorry to have tainted your opinion of TNG a little bit if I have, but it's just, TNG was too political for me. Especially the first two seasons. The last time the Kansas City Chiefs won, you were a baby. Indeed, that is actually true. When Worf was about to fight Martok, said to Worf, "Watch yourself," and points to his eye. Ah, okay. Now you're saying that, I'm vaguely remembering that. Makes sense. He lost an eye because an alien cat scratched it. Oh, wait. Yeah, that wrong franchise. Jeff says, Martok did lose eye fighting Jem'Hadar in prison. Yes, that's what it sounds like. Chrono says, shouldn't Martok's eye wound have a hole? That large scar doesn't make sense. No, the scar makes no sense. It was probably they did it just to make the makeup easier. Because, yeah, it looks like they literally melted his face over his eye. Matthew says, Rick and Morty is pretty fun, but it's not as smart as the fans like to pretend it is. Yeah, it just... I mean, modern animation stuff honestly doesn't appeal to me that much. There's a line of dialogue where he explains where he gave it up, what he gave up while in prison. Yeah, well, it sounds like, from what Tentacle says, assuming Tentacle is accurate, and I have no reason to think he's not, then that would make sense, that he was, it was the same guy that Worf was fighting. Thoughts on the Super Bowl? Overall, good game. Unfortunately, San Francisco just kind of fell apart in the second half of the fourth quarter. But other than that, really, really good game. Ensign Ricky is passing through Murfreesboro. Whoa, there he goes. I saw him. He was right there. I hope that your trip home is uneventful, Ensign Ricky. I truly do. Thomas says, best mega chat is the Feces and Lorehead. I do love that one, too. Oh, I wasn't expecting this kind of Spanish Inquisition. Well, nobody expects the Spanish Inquisition. Mr. Miles says, I don't even know where I am. You are currently on the Anti-Tricker channel. Thomas says, Anti-Tricker, PETA ad was blocked. It had animals taking a knee. Wow, really? I didn't know that. Ozzy says Bird is 40 or 41. Well, I think you're measuring it in human years, not necessarily Klingon years. Just remember, oil of Olay harvest men's foreskins for women's face cream. Okay. Alert, alert! People are too lazy to punch that like button. Oh, come on, guys, hit the like button. You can do it. And just so you know, I know there's like 70 plus people watching, and unless you're doing something on, like if you're driving, don't reach over and look at your screen. But if you're not driving, the like button, if you're watching a live stream or when you watch a video, it does help the individuals because it affects the YouTube algorithm based on and it's not just, oh, we need to get 100 likes, we need to get 200 likes or whatever. It comes down to where the YouTube algorithm calculates how many likes to dislikes you get. And so dislikes make a difference too if you see something you don't like. But it also means, and this is something a lot of people don't understand, don't hit the dislike just to troll people. And I know there are people that do that. I've had a couple of people doing that on my channel since it started. But don't do that because it does negatively affect their position in the algorithm. So don't do it. You can use the dislike button if you genuinely don't like the content or something like that. But don't do it just because you think some guy's a dick. You know, that's low. But anyway, but you use the like button, and so it makes a difference. Like if there's 80 people watching and you have 80 likes, and the system knows, oh, everybody that's watching this likes it, we're going to recommend it to more people. Get it? And that helps small channels as well as large. Thomas Ward's already, Biden is here indeed. The Biden touch is in the house, and he threw a hand out, which is kind of creepy. Ensign Ricky says, death to Kuroga. Indeed, my friend. Antiker, our great dictator, leader Bird, is ageless like the Q. No, he's not. It is pointless to ask the age of God. Emperor Bird is timeless. Okay. You see, and that's the problem with Kurogans. They really don't understand their impending doom. They think that they're facing down the combined forces of the Turkestani military, which is already equal to and superior to, in fact, the Kurogan military, which we've demonstrated time after time. But in addition to that, he's got the entire Klingon Empire coming down on him, and the emus from Australia. Chrono says, yay, Hypnoturd, now more vocal fry. Nah, not tainted at all. Kind of had to make it a bit more sense how TOS was more authentic, as it were. I get you. In the year 4000, age 78 will be a spring chicken. Well, but it's not the year 4000. That's the problem, Biden. Go Dolphins! Wait, never mind. Damn it! Jeff says, take evasive action. Do you see what's on the view screen? Stars? Edgar, Martok's scare makes sense. Bashir would have treated it by closing the wound as completely as possible. Oh, scar. Well, except Bashir didn't have medical tools. Daniel says, hello, Checker. Guess what I got at Walmart tonight? I have no freaking idea. A gallon of milk? If you could make Star Trek series, when would you take place? Would it be on a different ship or something entirely different? If I were going to do a Star Trek series, honestly, I would have it take place shortly after Star Trek 6. I would do it during the motion picture era, meaning that that's the aesthetic we would use, and I would stick to that aesthetic. I wouldn't try to redesign everything, although I might introduce a new class of ship every now and then. But it would be that design aesthetic. It would take place, like I said, shortly after Star Trek 6. So the original crew is all completely retired. No cameos or anything like that. And the next gen crew is still like 70 plus years away, so no cameos there. And it'll be not going to be on the Enterprise, it'll be on some other ship. And in fact, you know what? I'll put it on the USS Phoenix, because this is the new Star Trek rising from the ashes of Discovery. And so it'll be the USS Phoenix exploring and doing all sorts of cool stuff in that era of the Trek universe, when the Klingons were just starting to not be outright enemies, but they're still hostile. So the Klingons would definitely be antagonists in the series. But I would probably have a lot of intrigue going on with the Klingons and Romulans in it. Peeps are driving now. Well, I know Ensign Ricky is. Kronos, the Packers beat the Ravens 50-0. Oh, man. Didn't know about that. Edgar, report to voter. I'm not too lazy to hit the like button. I'm too forgetful. Well, I just reminded you. The coronavirus, yes. Did you get a Walmart receipt? There you go. Daniel says, I bought a Star Trek Discovery Season 2. Yay! Oh, yeah. Okay. And Daniel, just so you guys know, I mean, I talked about this earlier. Daniel likes Star Trek Discovery. Now, don't beat him up for it. I love Daniel. He's a great kid, right? He hangs out on the channel. He's nice, and we hang out. Just because he happens to like something that most of us don't, that's okay. It's subjective, and it doesn't mean he's not a Trek fan. It just means that his tastes are different than mine. I feel your pain. 80 to 100 views and 15 likes on streams, and now I have 3 dislikes on the regular. Yeah, it happens. Although keep in mind, on the streams, the way that it counts views is kind of wonky. Because you got to look at the maximum number of people you had simultaneously on. Because if you have 100 views, what happens is sometimes people's streams, depending on their internet connection, will be interrupted for just a moment. And so they'll be watching for 10 minutes and then they'll drop for a second. And then they're watching another 10 minutes and it drops for a second. Then they watch for another 10 minutes. That's one person watching it for 30 minutes, but it counts as 3 views. So it's kind of weird the way they do that. I don't know why they do that. The Turnistani military got really bored fighting Bird of Prey. Yeah, I know, because he's so easy to beat. Try an Aussie accent for your Hypnoterror. I bet you anything it'll sound like either like a broad accent or Doomcock Cockney Aussie. Oh, I'm not going to even pretend to be able to do the right accent, Fed. Not going to even pretend to be able to do that. I suck at accents. I heard on the radio earlier this week, PETA is trying to get Puxatawny Phil replaced with Robot Groundhog. Yes, they feel that it is cruel that this poor, innocent groundhog is pampered and given everything it could ever want and just treated like a king. It's just so mean. Your Martok needs more cowbell.
Death to Kataroga!
I think it's just right. Multi-Gunman says, incorrect. The emus are a Korogan secret agents. They're awaiting Bird's orders to pounce. Actually, no, we've been working with the Australians for some time now. Also, you lot should try rugby. No, thanks. Jeff says, no, the Discovery was on the view screen. No, it's not. Danger, danger, Auntie is asleep. That is all. Yes, Auntie is diligently sleeping as usual. Darth Maul says, the Kurogan leader isn't ageless. He ages like ice cream on the summer sun, like milk left out for days, like a lost gym socks found in a misplaced gym bag full of clothes. Yes, all you got to do is get his own description of his butt. Bashir was super genius, and it would be rough, but he could close it. I'm sure he could, but the way, I don't know, it just looked too smooth. That's the problem. Mecca likes to say Picard is for normies. She doesn't seem to understand the fact that there are actual Trekkies enjoy it. Well, she's entitled to her opinion, but at the same time, I think that I know she actually says, at least from what I saw of it, she says that it's not even that it's what is it? Like remedial Trek, like it's for people who are a little slow on the uptake. She's basically being politically correct by skirting around the word retarded. And personally, I think that's going a little too far. There is a great Robbie the Robot action figure at Walmart with audio from Forbidden Planet. Oh, that's cool. The USS Phoenix NCC 65420 was a 24th Century Federation Nebula-class starship operated in Starfleet. In 2367, the Phoenix was under the command of Captain Benjamin Maxwell. But here's the thing, Sci-Fi. This isn't going to be a 24th century show, and so my USS Phoenix will not be that USS Phoenix. And we've seen it before, where just because two ships have the same name, you don't have to put an A or a B, because the Defiant on Deep Space Nine has a totally different registry than the Defiant from the original series. So my Phoenix is like the original series Phoenix, as opposed to the Nebula-class Phoenix, which was built later. I didn't hurt Daniel after leading. He likes Star Trek Discovery, just don't care. YouTube wonky, no! Yeah. Everyone needs to get out the purity kick about being a fan of anything. No one is perfect. That's very true. If you're a Trekkie like me, or you call yourself a Trekker, or you just call yourself a Star Trek fan, that's enough in my book, right? And as far as I'm concerned, you are a Trekkie, Trekker, Star Trek fan, whatever you choose to identify as. But that doesn't, so you can critique it, and we can argue about why one show is better than the other, and we're going to do that until the end of time. But under no circumstances would I ever say you're not a fan. And Ensign Ricky throws $2 in, says, least favorite character in each Star Trek series. Wow. That's a mean one. All right, so let's see. In the original series, I'm going to say Riley. And I know, because the main characters, I don't really have any that I don't like. Although if I had to pick one of the main characters, I guess I would go Chekhov, my least favorite of the original cast. All right, so I'm not going to duck it. I'll just go with it. All right, so Next Gen, Troy. Deep Space Nine, Kira. I know a lot of people are going to be pissed at me about that, but I don't like her character. Voyager. I know the low-hanging fruit is Neelix, but Neelix is annoying, but honestly, I'm going to give it to Janeway, and it's because Janeway's so inconsistently written. And then Enterprise, I'm going to go with Hoshi. And mainly because they kind of wrote her to be a coward, and I didn't like that. So there you go. Oh, and I'm sorry, Discovery, Burnham, Picard, too early to say, because we haven't even really gotten to know who the whole crew is yet. But thank you, Ensign Ricky. You lie. You speak with a very good Martian accent. Well, that's very true, but I'm just so angry. Sorry if you already answered this, but have you seen the Meet the Crew video CBS released? Some new footage in there. I have not. But Discovery was on the view screen. Sulu took evasive action and Scotty gave emergency warp. You do realize there's nobody sitting at the controls, right? Just saying. I look forward to seeing our new fandom group, and its name will be awesome, whatever it will be. I don't know if we'll ever have a name for it, but yes, and the first new fandom group video is coming out tomorrow morning, and so I'm very excited. It's actually set for release it's a little after 10 o'clock right now, so approximately 8 hours from now. Pre-K Star Trek, I'm so there. Oh, man. Mako's in the house. How you doing? Andrew, what class would the Phoenix be? Constitution refit or something else? I like the idea of it being a Constitution refit because we haven't had any Constitution class ships except for the original ship, the original Enterprise. And they had Miranda class ships all over the place, and the Miranda was overdone. So I would probably do a Connie refit, yes. And in fact, so it will purposefully not be the flagship because they'll be saying, "Oh man, I want an Excelsior class, and I ended up on this crappy thing." You know, make it so that it's not the greatest ship in the fleet. The drunk Irishman that's singing in TOS, yeah, that's Riley. Greetings, turds, birds, and nerds. Hey, Wes, how you doing? Least favorite in each series. I already answered that. Oops. Okay, 100% agree. What one likes is subjective to their likes, can't be incorrect. Yeah. And that's why, like, if somebody says, "Oh, you don't like Troy, but Troy's hot." Yeah, I don't grade whether I like the character on how hot they are. I also picked Hoshi, and I don't think Hoshi's unattractive, but I picked them based on their character. And Troy was completely worthless. I mean, she could have literally been named Captain Obvious on that show. I'm using my empathic powers to know that Klingon that's arming weapons doesn't like us. He's gonna kill us. Andrew, I was curious about Discovery prices, so I checked on eBay, found season 1 and 2, brand new, $17. Talk about price reductions. Wow. That is cheap. Kess is my least favorite character in entire Star Trek. Kess is a good one. I didn't think of Kess. That is definitely a good candidate in Voyager. I did not care for Kess. Her replacement with 7 of 9 was probably the smartest thing that they did on the entire run of that show. Yes, Jake in Deep Space Nine. You picked all women, sexist. Chekhov is definitely not a woman. Just saying. Yeah, it's true that Troy... And the funny thing about Troy, Kira, and Janeway, they have something in common. They're all overcompensating. So sorry I missed Rational Roundtable today. I wish I was there this morning. That's all right, Daniel. I did it too dang early because of my weird schedule today. I tend to agree with Andy Trigger's dislikes. Oh my god, I agree with Andy Trigger. See? I blame the virus. You missed Sulu, too. Well, why would I say Sulu and Chekhov? One per series. And I like Sulu better than Chekhov. Your Martian sounds either like Kermit or Jordan Peterson. I don't even know who Jordan Peterson is. Troy and TNG, I agree. Least favorite characters, Neelix, Phlox, Burnham, the unidentified blonde who took over Uhura's position periodically, Wesley, and every kid on TNG. Jake Sisko. With the channel expanding, have you considered a name change? I'd suggest Certified Nerds. We have a Certified Nerds section at antitracker.com. I don't know if I want to change the name of the channel, though, because everybody knows the Anti-Tracker. But I might. If it continues to grow. And it's also going to, because we're just kind of experimenting now with doing the multiple people creating content for it. So, depending on how that goes. Because here's the problem. Is that if you do a name change, a lot of people aren't going to realize there was a name change, and so they're going to see something pop up in their subscription box that says Nerd Community or Certified Nerds or something like that, and they're going to say, I don't know who that is. Why do they keep popping up in my inbox? I'm subscribed to them? Unsubscribe. Because they don't realize that it's the Anti-Tracker channel. The name for your fandom meta split may be Rational Fandom. That's not bad. Andrew, how about the Ambassador class? Enterprise C was in this class. Nope, too close to Next Gen. I want the ship to feel like a ship. I don't want it to feel like a computer center and with magic holograms and all that crap. No. Taking away the magic, it's taking away the magic. The tech needs to be at the same level as it was at Star Trek 6. You realize that I spoke about Riley 10 minutes before you did, right? No, I didn't realize that. Lieutenant Palmer was a blonde that sat in for her. Yes, she was in the Doomsday Machine, which drug down that episode a little bit. Tim says, I forgot about Kess. Yeah, me too. One more time. Yes, he was so annoying. Hoshi was a black belt in martial arts. Well, maybe so, but she was also a coward. Not that I had watched it, but what about the animated series' least favorite character? The cat lady. I can never remember her name. Something like that. But yeah, I didn't like her. How dare you assume Chekhov's gender? Yeah, I know, I shouldn't. No, you missed Sulu at the helm. Oh. Nope, definitely not there for Jeff. How about certifiable nerds for the craziest among us? If you change the name, please don't make it long. It's pain enough to use my phone typing out names. I know. That's one thing that does suck. Did you miss my greetings? No, or if I did, I'm sorry, Wes. I did say hi to you a minute ago. Hoshi was a well-balanced character, was super smart with linguistics. I'm glad she had a weakness. By the way, she improved throughout the series. Well, most characters improve as their series go on. Janeway will be the exception to that. But Hoshi, I don't know. She just never really worked for me. Certified Nerds is not a bad name. SCNN. Yeah, but CNN would be getting us in trouble. Palmer was in Doomsday Machine. How did she get in there? Well, you know what I mean. Tim says, don't like that weird three-armed guy in Chekhov's seat on the animated series. Oh, yeah, the goat boy. And don't change the name on your channel. Nothing wrong with it. See, I'm probably not going to change the name. Just like I said, it would cause problems if I did. Well, let's be honest. Chekhov and Seven were kind of intended for the same purpose. Eye candy. Just one was for women and the other was for blokes. That's true. A Star Trek show set 200 years after Star Trek Voyager. Oh, no, Daniel. No, the technology in Voyager is already freaking magic. I don't want to go further into that. Indy throws $5 in just as I was about to show you guys something. It says, Nurse Chapel, Worf, Rom, Neelix, Malcolm Reed, Michael Burnham definitely liked Lieutenant Riley and wish they had more of him. Really? You liked Riley? Well, he was funny, I'll give you that. But he was a horrible crewman. Okay, how about if you're going to pick one-offs, what about Styles? Now, Styles was a straight-up racist. All right, so I think we can all agree Styles was a dick. Hello. And so thank you again, Indy Tiger. I do appreciate it. But and Worf seems, well, I mean, I'll say this. I actually, let me defend, because I know Kronos is like, wow, Worf. Let me defend his picking Worf. Worf in Star Trek The Next Generation sucked balls. It wasn't until Deep Space Nine that Worf was cool. And if you look at the way he phrased it, Nurse Chapel was for TOS, Worf for TNG, Rom for Deep Space Nine. So that Worf is the TNG Worf, which sucked. Sucked hardcore. And now Ensign Ricky throws another $2 in because he just doesn't want me to be able to be caught up. It says most irrelevant character per Star Trek series. Wow, now you're getting nuanced here. So not least liked, but most irrelevant character. So for TOS, I'm going to say Chekhov again, actually. For TNG, I'm going to say Worf, because Worf had so much potential, but he was just kind of there. I'm sorry, and that was a shame. In Deep Space Nine, irrelevant character. Tough one. I'm going to say Dax, actually, because she just was kind of generic. She'd be a super genius when they need her to be, and she'd be a dumb, ditzy, whatever, airhead when other times. She was never an important part of the story. I mean, yes, there are a couple stories that revolve around her, but honestly, she wasn't that big a deal. So then we go to Voyager. Most irrelevant character on Voyager, Harry Kim. And Enterprise, most irrelevant character, Kess, for sure. She was completely pointless. And which Dax Jadzia. And so that's my irrelevant character. Oh, and I forgot. We have Discovery. I'm going to say Stamets. The only reason he was on the show is because he was gay. Picard, again, too early to tell. All right, and so maybe just a separate channel then called Nerd Community or whatever. Well, but a separate channel would kind of defeat the purpose. Watch out, I'm in a silly mood, and I don't know why. I don't know why. That's okay, Jeff. I love you anyway. And now my phone's exploding, of course, because somebody's probably sending me messages. Yes, Captain Trek sending me messages when you know I'm trying to do... What are you sending me a YouTube video in the middle of a live stream? Anyway. Riley was, as we say down here in the civilized parts, a bludger. Okay. Don't know what bludger means, but okay. Worf sucks so hard he banged Troy, yeah. The episodes that center around Worf were cool, but every time they encountered some random alien, Worf got his ass kicked. That's why he was irrelevant. He was, he's supposed to be this ultimate badass warrior, and he gets his butt handed to him every single time. Yeah, Styles was a racist, and he was a dick, but his ancestor, as Captain Styles, died in the Romulan Wars. Yeah, so? He's still a racist. You know what? And here's the thing. I live in the southern United States. If someone's grandfather died in the Civil War, that doesn't justify being a racist. Kess wasn't on the Enterprise. That's true. But, all right, did I say Kess for Enterprise? You're right, I did. I said Kess for Enterprise. I meant Kess for Voyager. And then, so for Enterprise, wow, thank you for catching me on that. I don't know how I got that mixed up. You know what it is? I always get Phlox and Neelix confused for some reason. So then for Enterprise, I'm going to stick with Kess for Voyager. And for Enterprise, most irrelevant character, I think I'm going to go with Mayweather. Character that went nowhere. Let's see. The only thing that happened with Harry Kim in 7 seasons, he started playing different musical instruments. Yes. You just said Kess for Enterprise. Yes, I know. I screwed that up. Nerd card revoked. Yeah, I screwed that one up. Stamets, I felt like kind of an attempt at bargain bin McCoy, who was gay. Yeah, kind of. But he could have been an interesting character, but he just wasn't. The thing is, like, it has nothing to do with his sexual preference. I actually thought that his relationship with the Doctor was... I can never remember... Dr. Culver. I thought their relationship was not bad, not badly done. It was actually one of the few things where there was any kind of genuine emotional feeling in the show. But his character on his own, he just... But then again, the problem is and this is a problem with Discovery, is every character that's not Michael Burnham is irrelevant. And that's the problem. So I'm going to change it for Discovery. My irrelevant character is everyone who is not Michael Burnham. Darth Maul says, if Tasha Yar hadn't gotten killed off, Worf may have never come into his own like he did during Deep Space Nine, and he would have never made it to Deep Space Nine. Probably true. Fed says bludger equals a bum, lazy, layabout. Oh, okay. I can see that. To keep it low tech, I wouldn't mind a series that was prequel to TOS, but it was a far-range explorer class that never touched any known events. Well, you see, the thing is that the reason I would not make it a prequel to TOS is because we've had 2 prequels to TOS already. So, I don't need a third one. And if you did do a third one, and you said it before Discovery, would you make it a prequel to Discovery, or a sequel to Enterprise, or would you try to blend the two? No. There's too much damage to Trek in that time frame already. So that's why I would say go to just post Star Trek 6, because here's the thing. At least so far, the next-gen canon has not been butchered, so we don't have to worry about that. And the film canon hasn't been butchered, so that's an area that hasn't been screwed up. But you said Kim for Voyager. Yes, I will change my... Well, you know what? Actually, screw it. I'm not going to say Kim. I will stick with Kim. He's more relevant than Kes. Kes at least made a love interest for Neelix until she wasn't. Let's see. When I would watch that episode 1, I would say, "Shut up, Styles. You have no style." That's horrible. That's really horrible. Mayweather for Enterprise, not sure what he did on the ship. He was the helmsman. And now I missed it because I wasn't fast enough. Night Breeze puts in $1 and wants to see Disco die once again. So you got it, my friend. That is so freaking awesome. All right, there we go. And where were we? Tim. Oh, wait. That never gets old. You said Kim was most relevant on Voyager, which is Kes or Kim. Yeah, I'm going to stick with Kim. Yeah, I just decided. That's my final answer. Wasn't the term Worfed coined because of him becoming a trope? I don't know if Worfed was a term, but it makes sense because, yeah, he would just like, oh, look, Worf's going to run into fight, which means that he's going to lose. Don't change the channel name, just add to it. Something like Anti-Checker and the United Federation of Nerds. Yeah, could you imagine some poor person trying to chat on a phone, like what Thomas was just saying, and you would have to put at Anti-Checker and the United Federation of Nerds in order for it to highlight. That would be way too much. It'd be a cool title, but it would be way too much. Ensign Ricky says TOS Chekhov, TNG Beverly Crusher, DS9 Keiko, good pick for DS9. Voyager Neelix, Enterprise Mayweather, Discovery Tilly. Do you know the name of the song that Riley sings over and over again? It's like Kathleen is the name of the song, I believe. I had made it through a rewatch of Star Trek Discovery on half of Season 1, and after Cold Shower, I feel like Dr. Colbert was a bit of a diva, but his relationship with Stamets had depth. Yeah, exactly. I think that the Colbert-Stamets relationship was the single best element of Discovery Season 1. But it was still, yeah. Were Enterprise more in the vein of, say, The Expanse, both in terms of tech, realistic physics, and in terms of the larger scale, you could have had a gem. No, I don't think so. Oh, you're saying Enterprise. I was thinking of Picard. But yeah, Enterprise, so if you did a prequel, yes, because if that was the tech level like we see in The Expanse, then the Romulan War would make sense. But yes, that would be good. And leading into the Romulan War would be freaking epic. I still want to know why the kill button in your disco vid sounds like an old printer. Why not? A Tribe Called Trek. I like it. Will admit, watching Laura kick Worf's butt was legitimately uncomfortable, if only because it was obvious how outmatched she was and how terrifying Data could have been. Yeah. Who's Colvard? It's Culber, the doctor on Discovery. I really liked Lorco and Disco Season 1, 2. Jason Isaacs played him well. He did. Jason Isaacs knocked it out of the park until the Mirror Universe crap and they ruined his character. Keiko was not irrelevant on Deep Space Nine. She gave Miles a reason to spend so much time with Bashir. That's it. A number one sci-fi song, I'll Take You Home Again, Kathleen. Yeah, is that the name of the song, or is it just Kathleen? I thought it was just Kathleen. Anyway, I'm going to take a break from the chat for a minute because I want to show you guys something. This is a game, and it's a really cool game that one of the people from, oh gosh, now I can't remember the name of their channel, but they're a Battlestar Galactica channel. Anyway, it is a Battlestar Galactica game, interestingly enough, and it is called Deadlock. And so I just thought I would... Come on, Irene. That's different song. All right. Now, Kess was completely irrelevant in Olive Trek. Well, yeah, she was, well. But was she more irrelevant than Kim? That's the question. Have the game. It's awesome. It is, though. I'm going to show you guys I'm just getting to learn this game a little bit, but I wanted to show it to you guys in case you're interested in a game like this, because I've been looking for something like this, and I think this would be a fun game to play with Bird, actually. I think he would enjoy it, because, and I'm not trying to pick on Bird, and I know Bird will probably watch this tomorrow, so Bird, I'm not trying to pick on you, but it's a game where physical ability has nothing to do with your skill in this game. And so, which is something like, that's one of the reasons I suck at first-person shooters. I don't have, with the arthritis in my hands and stuff, I don't have as good of reflexes and stuff as a kid. But I also, but I can also kick Bird of Prey's butt all over the place because, he's got bigger problems than me. So, this is the Battlestar Galactica War Room here aboard whatever this thing is called. It's like a giant Battlestar building base that can also jump around because why not? And you go to different places. So we'll set a jump to where the next mission is, and then you confirm the jump. And yes, we'll spend the money to go ahead and jump now. And we click end turn. And those red markers, by the way, are Cylon incursions, so they're like random encounters if you want to just go kick some Cylon butt. But I'm going straight to the mission here to unlock the next ship. Now, let me see. Wait, well, I'm waiting for that. Do you do the replays? I'm not sure what you mean there, Tim. Do I do the replays of what? We all pick on Bird, indeed, Kronos. Tim says, don't run your ships into each other. Yeah, they will crash. The crash physics are very harsh in this game. Kim was a bridge officer and had many important moments. Nothing changed when Kess left. That's okay. I'll give you that. But I still, Kim. Kim. All right. So first thing is, before you jump in, you can actually, you set up your ship's basic formation. So these are definitely not powerful ships that I have here. And I'm just arranging them. One thing that's interesting about this, and yes, Tim, I'm going to show that in just a minute. Dislike for me: Enterprise, Archer, TOS, Sulu, TNG, Picard, Voyager, 7 of 9. Really, DS9, Cisco, and Discovery, Burnham. Well, you got a couple of odd picks there. All right, so the reason I'm staggering the height of these ships is because of the physics in this game. Collision is serious, so if you crash your ships into each other, they will in fact explode. And if you fire missiles from your ship and you're too close to another ship, your missiles will in fact impact the other ship. And so you want to be careful of that. All right, so
prepare to jump in 3, 2, 1.
So we're jumping into the Caprica system here, and you can see. Here we go. Jumping in looks very much like Battlestar Galactica, except these are not. These are little frigates, not Battlestars. That comes much later in the game.
Civilian lives are of value.
It's very 40K Armada. Well, I haven't played 40K Armada. I know you're obsessed with 40K, but I have not played it. What is it with you in space? Everything. I love space. And Tim says, the issue I have with the replays is that you're supposed to be able to post them on your YouTube channel, but I think support for the game stopped, so that function no longer exists. Well, but I could always do a capture if I wanted, if there was some kind of really epic battle. All right, so you can see there's this satellite. I'm supposed to destroy that, but then we have, it looks like, what's this? A couple of other ships here that are under my control, which is nice. It's funny, the first time I tried this game, I did not realize those two ships were under my control, and so I completely blew it, but yeah. Alright, so we'll bring all these guys over here to destroy the satellite. So if you mass select, you click on the ship, the ship to point out where you're going. And then we set the elevation. And let's see, well, just to leave it at that. So then you click end turn and your ships start moving. And you can see the little thing at the bottom shows you the complete movement for the turn. And then once the turn is over, then you can go ahead and select what you're going to do. So for this ship, I'm going to fire missiles at the satellite that we're supposed to destroy. The rest of the ships I'm just going to leave alone for right now. Death to the satellite, yes. So you see, there's the missiles taken off. Hopefully one salvo will be enough to take out the satellite. And still no enemy Dreadis contacts. By the way, the Dreadis, I love the sound. You got the actual Dreadis star. Thomas says, last week I got the 2004 base star Eagle Moss. Very cool. I'll tell you, that Battlestar Galactica you sent me, that's my favorite Eagle Moss ship that I have. I absolutely love it. Let's see. And I know, Tim, you can change all the settings and stuff, but I don't want to spend like the next 6 hours doing a simple round here. So now we'll maneuver around this way, because I know there's some enemies coming here soon. So
say we all.
And turn. There we go. So that satellite is toast. Oh, and there's another satellite. So what are these? Oh, these are bigger ships. That's all I see. Oh, here we go.
Sir, new Dreadis contacts. Terminal broadcast.
Andrew, did you hear they will start production on Lethal Weapon 5 with Mel Gibson and Danny Glover? Do you think they may be too old to come back? I do think they're too old to come back. If that is true, I think that is a mistake.
Idris data is still compromised. I've got another candidate for the source of the interference.
Ensign Ricky, we have about 5 hours left. We'll return home at about 4 a.m. Man, I hate those long drives, man. You need more fighters. Long live the fighters! Alright, so this is an Adamant. And these ships are pretty badass for early ships. So they have fighters, which is handy, which we're going to go ahead and launch the fighters in just a minute. If you select both ships, you can say launch all squadrons, and then we'll also send some missiles at that satellite. All right, and so really, there was a satellite you couldn't find? I didn't have any problems with that. All right, so where are those Dreadis contacts? There they are. And now we'll bring these two guys to join up with the rest of the fleet. That turn was a little too sharp, but that's okay. Should work.
Yes, Commander.
And notice it is actually three-dimensional, so that's kind of cool. All right, and let's get the Vipers. And we're going to take the Viper. Now, here's the interesting thing. So until you get close enough, you can't tell what these are. They're obviously enemy ships, but we can't see them. But the important thing is, look at, there's a large contact next to a small contact. Guaranteed that small contact is a squadron of Cylon Raiders. So best thing to do is you take your Vipers, select target, and you highlight the Raider, and you have your Vipers go after the Raiders. And so we'll take the other one, select target.
Yes, sir.
And Vipers, by the way, much faster than capital ships. And we go end turn.
IFS confirms unit is hostile.
All right, so now we've got some visibility.
Missiles incoming.
But we also have some incoming missiles. That's not
Interference
good.
is still in place, and it seems to be getting stronger. Commander, I have identified 2 more satellites showing potential interference.
That's Edge's secret favorite. You're talking about, it's been a long road. That is definitely not my favorite song. All right, so we're going to let the Vipers take out the Cylons, but in the meantime, let's see what we got here. So these guys, the Nemesis ships, they can actually hack your systems. That's very, very dangerous. These guys are basically just heavily armed. So what we're going to do is we're going to have all the ships that didn't fire missiles on the other run, take him out.
Missile tubes prepped.
Oops. Wrong button. Alright, fire guided missile, okay. Fire guided missile, okay. And let's see. Oh, there's another nemesis over there, so we'll go ahead and send his missiles over there.
Yes, Commander.
That one might not hit. That station might be in the way, but we'll find out. Which eye is the sarcastic winking eye?
Fighter squadron is taking fire.
And Night Breeze is taking off, or Kronos is saying goodnight to Night Breeze because Night Breeze is taking off. Hey, Night Breeze, have a good one, my friend. Thanks for hanging out with us as always. And so let's see where we at here. Ooh, yeah, I'm about to have a massive collision here. That's not good. Shoot. And I can't even oh man, this was stupid. Wait, I might be able to get it. Whew. Okay, managed to dodge that bullet. This is why you don't fly formation. Well, I'm also trying to talk and play at the same time, which I'm not very good at, obviously. This is why I will never have a Twitch channel. Because I would just be horrible at it. Alright, so these guys will... Yeah. And, you know, yes, when I'm playing by myself, I'll grab each individual ship and pick what they're going to do and stuff. But, like I said, when I'm showing off the game here, in the interest of time, that's not what we're going to do. Today is a bad day to fly drunk, indeed. Don't use the bird of prey maneuver. Yeah, I almost did by accident. The Walmart Commercial Enterprise I had seen before. I think it was a rejected STD design. No, actually, that was the Star Trek Discovery Enterprise. If you look carefully, you can see the slots in the warp pylons. Prepare for ramming speed, says Daniels, as Fed says. The bird of prey maneuver being the venerable ramming speed. Yes. That seems to be the only maneuver the bird knows how to do.
Switching gun to manual.
Man, that guy took a beating and did not go down. That's not good. Because he's heading straight for the main ship. Does he have... Yeah.
Yes, Commander.
Right, hopefully that's enough to take him down. And... the Star Trek Discovery Enterprise has a slit in its not slut. Yes, the Discovery version of the Enterprise has slit in the pylons for some reason. Indy Tigers, going to bed. Have a good one, my friend. Yeah, I'll probably be wrapping it up pretty soon. I just want to show this to you guys because I think if you like strategery, this is a great game for it. Slow these ships down so they don't stay broadside there. I'm heading out early. Take care. All right, Mr. Miles, have a good one. Jeff says no sluts, please. Yeah, we're not slut shaming around here. That's not nice. And we'll have this ship get a little higher. And this ship go a little higher. And we got another collision here. There we go. Can you play against others? Yes, Thomas. This is a multiplayer game. So it looks like, I mean, I haven't gone into everything on there, but it looks like it's just a one-on-one multiplayer. But still, it looks like it could be a lot of fun. Like, that's why I was saying I would definitely have some fun playing this with Bird of Prey. Man, this is like just a mess in here. So that's a Colonial Freighter. So we don't want to take him out, but this I will put right there. This guy we'll put there. We're trying to take down that ship. And everybody else will pretty much leave the way they're going. Now, hopefully these missiles are going to take this guy out, or else I'm in deep, deep trouble. Oh, crap. Alright, I'm in trouble. So, he's going for the main ship. So, can we kill Bird, aka Bird kills himself? I'm pretty sure Bird will take himself out. After all, it is Bird.
Yes, sir.
So, we're going to send the Vipers after that lone ship. Yeah, I kind of blew it on this mission. By the way, I'm not shaming slots. Well, you kind of are. Just saying. No, we don't slot shame around here. What game is it, and is it new? I don't know how long it's been out for a little bit of time. It's called Battlestar Galactica Deadlock. But you get the idea of how it's played. So it's a turn-based strategy game. The cool thing about it, though, is, and Tim was mentioning this a minute ago, that's why I wanted to try and finish this mission, is that after the mission, you can replay the battle without the pauses for the turns, if that makes any kind of sense. And so, which I'm going to try to show you if I can finish this battle and survive, despite the fact that I kind of completely screwed it up.
They're in our subsystems, Captain. Attempting to flush network.
Oh, great. They're hacking. And let's see. Why, stand your ground with your fleet. Let them come to you. Well, the problem is if you do that, you lose. And actually, the funny thing about this game is that you can't not move. Like, you can go slow, but you can't just not move. There's no, like, stopping your ship. As much as I would like to sometimes. So we'll hit them with a couple volleys of missiles. That one's still reloading. Hey, reloading. Spoofed by a Cylon. Yeah, those Cylons, their hacking ability is devastating. So the hacking, what it does is that each of your ships, like if you go into repair subsystems, this is all the systems on your ship. And so, but they have to punch through your armor in order to do damage to your internal systems. And but if they use the hacking, then the hacking just does damage to your internal systems directly, and they don't have to punch through your armor. So it's like, well, that sucks. And let's see, how's this guy doing? Down to 35 hull. Yeah, we could probably give him a dose of missiles, and that might take him out this turn.
Missiles on their way.
Turn off the network card. What are you doing? Oh, in order to try and stop the hacking. I know that I wish that would work. All right, so he's down to 33 hull. How's this guy? He's at 55, but this guy's the real danger. All right, list. So if we take a look at this guy's subsystems, you can see, yeah, fire control is damaged. So
Yes,
we
sir.
need to repair it. And can this guy fire missiles yet? Yes. And Romulans attack. Romulans attacked Mars. No, I don't think the Romulans attacked Mars. Are you playing single player? Yes. I have yet to do a multiplayer match, and I'm sure if I did, I would suck at it really bad. Man, this is just getting a little too crazy around here. Actually, we're gonna have to, let's try.
So say we all.
No. So, oh man, I don't know if there's any way to avoid a collision here. Well, actually, I think with this ship, we can do that. No. And then... Really? You should try custom matches. You get access to all the tech. Yeah, I did like 1 or 2 custom matches. Yeah, I completely screwed this by getting the ships too close to each other. So it looks like you guys are going to get a chance to see the brilliant collision physics here in a moment. Because I'm a freaking idiot. But that's alright. So these two ships are probably going to collide here. There they go. So, yeah, you don't want your ships to collide.
So say we all.
Alright, so amazingly, it's not, that ship's not dead. How happy are you that General Martok backs Turtle? Well, it's Chancellor Martok, and I'm extremely happy about that.
Death to Kataroga!
Yes. Dude, don't feel bad about this map. I found out that you could run into your own crap. I ran into the base with 2 of my ships. Yeah, I've done that first time I played, but this, yeah, I just got these guys way too close to each other. I should have paid more attention, but I was too busy talking to you guys and not really paying attention to the game. Let's see. This guy is slowly going down. And Zachary says, excuse me, tired, meant Chancellor. That's all right, my friend. It's an easy mistake to make. But yes, that whole thing with Chancellor Martok was just a thrill to be a part of. I can't thank Orville Nation enough for it. Because, and actually, it was only because someone canceled that I got lucky enough to be on the panel. So that was kind of cool. Should have asked him what his favorite vintage of blood wine is. Oh, yeah, I should have. Ooh, that hurt. Alright. And let's see, do we have missiles? We do.
Missiles on their way.
Alright, so let's see. This guy, we saw one more turn before he can shoot. Two turns before he can shoot. This is definitely not going well. But yeah, I presume that as far as blood wine, I don't get the idea that Martok is a blood wine snob. I think that he's probably more or less good with any vintage blood wine as long as it gets him drunk. Let's see. Well, I leave and get back to Admiral Crawford fighting the first toaster war. Yes. And doing an incredibly bad job of it, too. This mission is probably about to end in absolute loss, but we'll try.
Daedalus is taking damage.
Okay, good. They got the ship that was taking out the base. That's good. Okay, this guy is getting close to being toast. That's good. And so we're might actually survive this. I'm impressed. Let's see. I disagree. He did mention a couple of times where Martok spoke of a certain year. Well, he might have a preference. You're right. One other thing I learned, I play for alternate single-player modes. Always land your Vipers before you jump. You will lose them. Thank you. I did not know that. Kronos says, I disagree. He did mention a couple of times. Yeah, I already read that. I'm done with the night for the night. Have a good one. All right. Go Chiefs. Go Chiefs. They already won. You don't root for the team after they've won. Did Andy Jerker just agree with my babble? Well, if Martok did mention a couple of times, then yeah, why wouldn't I agree with you? I'm assuming you know what you're talking about. So, yeah, why not? And let's see. Is this guy ready to fire? Yes. Oh, man. Because system repairs are going on, he can't fire. Dang it. Alright, so this guy...
On it, Commander.
Okay, good. He's gone.
Zone intact. Priority 1 is in safe hands.
Oh, crap. You need... Yes, you're supposed to have facts.
Yes, Commander.
Why wouldn't you have facts? Alright, now where's that other satellite? Let's get those Vipers on the other satellite. Over in satellite. There it is.
Yes, sir.
Alright. 2309, there's no finer vintage for Martok. Oh, okay. Is that what he said? So then I guess 2309, that's what we're going to have to get for General Martok the next time I talk to him. Kronos, your SuperBowel and Mothman made it into Use Your Words game on Bird stream earlier, but Bird cheated. So tell me, how did Bird cheat? Since you mentioned that earlier, what did Bird do this time? I mean, I know Bird cheats, but what did he specifically do? I'm just curious.
On it, Commander.
Edriger, Mega Random said that Avery Brooks will return as Captain Benjamin Sisko in Picard Season 2. Okay. I don't know where she got that from, but... and here's the thing, though, Daniel, is that I generally, and you know this about me, I generally don't get into the rumor mill stuff. So if that's true, fine. But until I actually see it on screen, I'm not going to treat it as anything other than a rumor. Never had blood wine. I've had Romulan ale. That is good stuff. I love Romulan ale. How Sisko is one with the prophets. Yeah, that's what I was just thinking. Is if Sisko is living in the wormhole, why would he come back? Oh, there we go. Scratch one toaster.
Subsystem is back online.
Alright, that satellite is gone. Alright, we're doing good here. Hey, let's try going for ramming. Let's see if we can do a bird maneuver here. Toaster, that's racist. Well, it's not racist if they're actually toasters, is it?
Understood. Yes, Commander.
Coordinate recall actions. Our people have been through enough today.
That's right, Frackers.
It worked. Oh man, I just was wondering if that would actually work. So there we go. So Bird of Prey can do his favorite tactic. There we go. Watch how you can destroy your ships by ramming them into the toaster ships. Yes, well, just did that. Death by Rabies throws $3 in with a fist bump. Thank you, my friend.
Death to Catarora!
So here's your fist bump right back at you, friend. I appreciate that. And the Prophets kicked him out for eating Taco Bell. That must have been it. All right, so now all we got to do is take out that last satellite, and then we're done. All right, so now you're going to see the cool thing about this game in just a second. So I believe this satellite is the last part of this mission's objective, but although I'm not 100% sure, we'll find out momentarily.
Cleanup order received.
No choice, sir. Navigation data is still compromised. They must have control of the entire Idris system by now.
Not to mention we've destroyed more Caprican infrastructure in the last few minutes.
Okay.
Then the entire Cylon fleet could, on a good day.
We've wasted enough time.
That Martok thing is never going to get... No, I love it, man. I just love it. I'm going to... There's a couple of times he said it. That's probably... I'm going to sample them all and then see what's the best one.
They want to know about Colonial Fleet's involvement at Caprican.
I don't think Martok is going anywhere anytime soon. For the people who want to say Picard is the best captain, I tell them Sisko's living in the Bajoran wormhole. He's immortal. Sisko can travel through time and space without a starship. Well, here's the thing, though, Daniel. And just because Sisko is more powerful doesn't mean better. See, it got you there. All right, so here's the cool thing. So you can see now we can click proceed to move back to the ready room and brief for our next mission and stuff. But here's the cool thing. We click replay. And in a style very similar to the camera movements in Battlestar Galactica, the series, we can watch the battle that we just partook in. So,
Get everything ready and bearing on the hostile.
And so you can see here's the ships, the first missile launches and stuff. That wasn't the best. Here we go.
Just give me one.
See, that was a very Battlestar Galactica move for the camera there. And so now the ships are heading back towards those Dratus contacts. I bet a lot of you would love to partake.
Target activity. Give me manual control now.
Pew pews, yes. But you see, it's very Battlestar. The thing I like about it is the style of the combat is very Battlestar Galactica. So you just kick back and watch your handiwork. And should be just in a minute here.
Adjusting shot by 0.1 seconds. Fire.
Pull the bird maneuver.
They're in our subsystem. Attempting to flush them.
Yes, Thomas, this is the first Cylon war. Thank you, Thomas.
They're breaching our firewall.
The soundtrack. Oh yeah, and if you listen to the music, which I have turned down to avoid any copyright strikes, but if you listen to the music, it is definitely sounds a lot like BSG. I haven't seen Nukes yet, but I haven't played the game very much.
Take the power wings, sir.
So I don't know if Nukes are in the later game stuff or not.
Escort clearance zone is active.
Escort Priority 1 still online?
Are they making a first? No, they did a pilot for a first Cylon War series. It was called Blood and Chrome, and it was actually, the pilot was really good, but the Sci-Fi didn't pick it up for a series, which is too bad. And yes, that was an actual pilot for people that think that Picard had a pilot.
Coordinate recall actions. Our people have been through enough today.
That's right, frackers. That's right.
That's right, frackers. That's right. As he rams in there.
That got a little messy.
That's what you get, frackers.
They're breaking. Push the line.
So, yes, they are, and they suck unless you use them first. Cylons can also shoot you before you have them on Dratus. Yes, that's true. But that's, actually, there's something that's I like about the game is that they did not change the way that they work in universe for the sake of balancing the game, because thank you, Chancellor. Because in the Galactica series, the Cylons had superior tech, but the humans had basically superior armor, and so that was kind of a balancing act. But yeah, but the Cylons definitely had better scanners. Their Dratus was superior. So yeah. And let's see. Haven't heard much on the new BSG reboot. I have not heard jack about that. Only saw Blood and Chrome once. Wasn't that with a young Adama? Yes, it was a first Cylon War. It took and it was a young Husker was his call sign, Adama. Sci-Fi wanted Sharknado over BSG. Yeah, go figure. And let's see. I know I'm looking over here. That's just because I had the game screen up. So it's. Let me switch this over. And then we'll wrap things up here. Fracker's better than F-Bomb and Trek. I agree 100%. Blood and Chrome was great. Someone should make that series. I wish, yeah, that's one that I would love to see Netflix or Amazon Prime or something pick up, because it definitely was good enough to be a series. I don't know why Sci-Fi didn't do it. Maybe it just didn't get the ratings they were hoping for. Maybe you should add Death to Kurogo to the super chat when I kill Bird of Prey a lot. That's... Blood and Chrome was amazing. Gotta get that with my BSG collection. I keep forgetting. Yeah, that's my favorite, actually. As far as, I really like the 2004 series, but Blood and Chrome, I was like, oh man, this series is going to be even better, and then it never got made. Zachary says, have a good night. Congrats to the Chiefs. No, Chiefs, no, they cheated. I'm kidding. Yeah, congratulations, Chiefs. The 49ers blew it. The Chiefs didn't win it. The 49ers blew it. Honestly, I would love to see Babylon 5 refresh where they re-release with modern effects and CG. You know what? The problem with that ZS is that Babylon 5, the story was good, don't get me wrong, but the CG wasn't the only problem, because the sets were so bad. I mean, if you look at the command center of Babylon 5, it looks like it's filmed in a large broom closet. And so if you redid the external sets with modern CG, that would be awesome, but you need to somehow fix all the internal sets too, and now you're talking about hundreds of millions of dollars to do it. Will Wheaton says, even Muggles will love Star Trek Picard. Well, that's funny, since Muggles has nothing to do with Star Trek. What was the mini show called with the Pegasus? That was called Razor, and it was actually really good as well. I really liked Razor. Really liked Blood and Chrome. Did not care for Caprica. Did not care for the Plan. And of course, I loved the full run of Galactica 2004. And which Thomas says, did you like the BSG movies, The Plan and Razor? Loved Razor, not so much The Plan. Did you notice the difference in the size of the landing bays on the Galactica and Blood and Chrome versus the ones they used in the series? It was freaking huge. I did not. I probably should have. Did you see Razor? Yes. I remember Battlestar Galactica Blood and Chrome. Yeah, it was freaking awesome. I don't think Babylon 5 has a big enough fan base for a reboot. No. Unfortunately, it doesn't. Razor, better than BSG Season 4? Well, here's the thing. You're comparing an entire season to a kind of a mini... I'm trying to remember if Razor was 2 or 4 hours, but it's not a fair comparison. Razor was a tighter story than BSG Season 4. Now, I know the ending of Galactica Season 4 was controversial. Some people loved it, some people didn't. I will tell you that the mid-season cliffhanger, that was downright disturbing when they found Earth and Earth had been nuked. Wow, what a great cliffhanger. And I was sitting there going, holy crap, where do they go from here? And not only that, it had me thinking for a while about, you know, the potential nuclear war. Is that what our planet will end up looking like? That kind of thing. And it was actually very disturbing. Now then, they picked it up and they went in a very different direction than most people expected. And the ending, of course, to some people was very disappointing. To other people was absolutely brilliant. I tend to fall more in the brilliant camp. I thought it was really good, but I certainly understand why some people hated it. And part of it, I think, has to do with the supernatural elements of the story. But I thought it was good. The problem is that I think part of it is that throughout the series, there was never any clear cut. Like, we knew that the humans, for the most part, polytheists. Adama was an atheist. The Cylons were monotheists, which I thought was actually an interesting dichotomy, considering that usually the monotheists are the good guys. So I thought that was interesting. But then at the end, we actually get an answer to, you know, the God thing. And I think some people probably found that offensive, especially if you are a non-believer. And so I can understand that. And I certainly sympathize if it didn't fit your taste, but I thought it was brilliant. And, you know, so, and it's a testament to Ronald D. Moore's writing, because I know that he was writing stuff that he didn't necessarily believe in. Best sci-fi YouTuber should do a review of BSG, but Foley is busy. Wow. So, well, there are sci-fi YouTubers that talk about BSG. I might actually talk about some BSG. I don't know if Mr. Miles wants to start doing edits of BSG stuff, though, because I know he wants me to do Stargate. That nuked Earth was mind-screwing. It certainly was. When they landed on Earth, it really looked like they were in New York. It was shocking. It absolutely was. And that was Earth. Don't mistake it, Tim. You put it in quotation marks. No, that was Earth. It's just that then they moved to another planet that they named Earth themselves after the Earth that got nuked. Would you have wanted to abandon the ships and technology? No, I thought that was... I understand why they did it, but at the same time, I think it was a mistake. Surf says, Earth was nuked at the end of the BSG. Well, Surf, I don't want to talk about it too much if you haven't seen it, because it's really worth watching. Cylons actually had proof of their deity. Zoe Greystone. Well, they had good idea. They didn't have absolute proof until the end. And even then, they didn't really have... The Cylons and the humans didn't really get all the answers, but the answers were presented to the audience. I think that's the thing. Mr. Miles will demand you finish the Stargate series. I know he will. Although I haven't done any reviews of Stargate either, so maybe I should start doing that. That'll get Mr. Miles' creative juices flowing if I start recording Stargate reviews for him to edit. I thought BSG 2004 was excellent. I didn't want a reboot, but maybe a continuation where history repeats itself. I don't know what... I know they were talking about doing a BSG series on Netflix. I have not heard anything on it. But, you know, I have not. Yeah, I don't know what the status is. How far behind are you for us to get some more Stargate videos? Oh, ways. Depends, because here's the thing. I could start recording Stargate stuff tomorrow, but that would mean putting a hold on some of the stuff that we've been working on, like, building up to the Borg versus Dominion and stuff like that. But I do want to get into Stargate because I want to bring Stargate into this whole versus world, and I also want to get to BSG because I want to bring that in as well, and Star Wars, although we've already talked about Star Wars a little bit on this channel. So, yeah. Thomas says Stargate is only a movie. You're lucky that that Mr. Miles left. Josh says, "What happened to BSG movie? To the BSG movie? We don't. Well, it never came to fruition. It just got stuck in creative limbo, and who knows if it'll ever get made." Space Doc does a lot of ship reviews for BSG and several others. I actually like their channel more than Trek Yards. Space Doc does some good stuff. I like Trek Yards a little better because Trek Yards is a little more authoritative on their information, but Space Doc puts together some really good stuff. Now, some of the stuff Space Doc has some good inside information, particularly on their Expanse stuff, but when it comes to Trek, I would always defer to Trek Yards. NBC is the network rebooting BSG on the Peacock, I'm assuming. Well, NBC owns it. NBC Universal owns BSG, so we'll find out. And Max Mercer says, no, the series is ruined by season 4, and season 3 got very boring. Agree to disagree. I thought season 3 and 4 were. I thought the Galactica got better every season. New BSG show isn't a reboot, but it's based on the reimagined sci-fi show. But you see, that's if that's the case. Is it going to be a prequel then? Because, after all, you couldn't do it as a sequel series, considering that story is complete. There is no more to tell. I mean, you could do a first Cylon War story, but you certainly cannot do the story of, fleeing from the Cylons and finding Earth. You also have a TV show, a Turkestan General sent you, and a Barbie movie. I know. I got a lot of stuff and that's one of the reasons. Honestly, Thomas, and I'm going to finish up with this. So please don't send me any more chats because I'm not going to get to them. I'm going to finish with this just to kind of fill you in on what one of my evil plans here, Thomas, because you deserve to know this, as does anybody that sent me movies and stuff to review. Is moving forward in once I get through a couple of things that I have to do right now. I am just going to do reviews. I'm not. I mean, I'm going to still do live streams. That's not going away ever because I love hanging out with you guys. But my video stuff is just going to be reviews. So you're going to see basically the content. You're going to see the stuff that you're going to start seeing from Darren starting tomorrow, where he does Star Trek from a submariner's perspective. You're going to see stuff from Ensign Ricky. You're going to see stuff actually from Orville Nation. Just signed him on today. So you're going to see stuff from a bunch of people. And I'm going to stick with doing reviews and only reviews because A, I'm pretty good at them. And B, I keep trying to do all this stuff and I keep just falling further and further behind. I've got to streamline a little bit. So I will eventually do the review of the Barbie movie, but I also have a few movies and TV shows ahead of the Barbie movie that I need to do. And I am going to start doing reviews of Stargate. I am going to start doing more reviews of Star Trek. Obviously, I'm going to continue with Picard every week when it comes out. But I'm going to stick with reviews because that's what I'm good at. And that way I can start getting through the backlog of stuff I have to get through, plus move forward into new territory that I really want to explore. If the channel continues to grow and this becomes full-time, then awesome. Then I'm going to be able to actually expand on my what I'm planning on doing. I will also, of course, be sending, and yes, Kronos, I know. I will be sending stuff to Mr. Miles to work on that's not review related, but that will strictly be the Miles stuff, like when we talk about the versus videos and stuff. I'm going to hand all that over to Miles. I love the battle breakdown videos that I've done lately, but I realized I could just do battle breakdowns and that would be the entire channel. And I know a lot of people would enjoy it, but I've got all these reviews that people like Kronos and you, Thomas, and Darren Wagner and others have sent me material to do. And I'm so far behind, it's embarrassing. So I'm going to put the battle breakdowns on the back burner until I can either do this full time or I can at least get those reviews done. Because I've just been taking way too long. Anyway, but I am going to wrap it up there, guys. I truly appreciate your patience with me. I truly appreciate you guys hanging out with me. And I truly appreciate it when you donate, because hopefully, eventually, that's going to go to this being a full-time job. And by the way, Thomas, just so you know, I happen to have this right here. I love this. This is, like, so freaking cool. I absolutely love this. Anyway, guys, take care, and remember...
Death to Kataroga!
Because right from Martok's mouth, man.
Making your way with the nerds today takes everything you've got. Taking a break from hating JJ sure would help a lot. Wouldn't you like to just get laid? Sometimes you wanna go where all the Trekkies know your name, and they're always glad you came. You wanna be in a galaxy where Star Trek isn't lame. You wanna go where everybody knows your name. Turds of a feather flock together, that's what we believe. We know a place that's got you covered, a place to get relief. Wouldn't you like to say me poo? Sometimes you wanna go where Turnistannies know your name, and all Karogans are to blame. You wanna be where you can see Karoga go up in flames. You wanna go where everybody knows your name.
You son of a bitch, anti-tracker!